We're going to address this topic right here because I feel it's really important. And again, guys, excuse my voice, but I'm a little bit sick, so I might be coughing and I might sound a little weird. Um, but anyway, I saw this tweet and I just had to go over it. It says, whenever I discuss the fact that teen boys are 4 times more likely to die by suicide, I often hear the immediate response, quote unquote, but girls attempt more. This reflexive but girls reaction, in my opinion, is a contributing factor to the high male suicide rate. And I agree with that, right? Because anytime you mention problems with guys, it's always but girls, but girls, but girls. You know, my whole life, up really until the past few years with the red pill awakening and whatnot, the past 5 years, there's been an awakening, obviously, to the problems with men, but there's not enough action. But my whole life, all I've heard is the problems with women and how men were so evil to them, so quote unquote, and that quote unquote we were repressing them, this and that. And I agree, there was a lot of stuff back then, like not being allowed to vote. That's not good. Women not being allowed to work. That's not good. I think women should work and should be able to vote and have just as much rights as a man. But the problem is the movement has been hijacked, right? It's for dysgenics. It's to create an environment where the controllers, the social engineers who I always talk about, can mold us to how they want us to be. We can view things a certain way, react to things a certain way. They create a matrix for us, right? But anyway, before I diverge into that, research shows that girls are more prone to using non lethal self harm methods, often seeking attention. So I'm guessing this is like when they dye their hair, they'll get piercings, tattoos, maybe go shopping or whatever, change their whole look. Um, maybe do something crazy, maybe like hang out with a certain guy they never would, maybe start smoking or drinking or something like that. So I totally get this because I see this all the time with women. Again, I've been dealing with women for 15 years. You know what I mean? Like I've had girlfriends, obviously. I know exactly how they are. And when you see a girl like all of a sudden change her persona and how she is and like dye her hair or whatever, it's like she's seeking attention. And women will often do this after a guy they like breaks up with them. If it's the other way around, if they break up with a guy that they didn't really even like to begin with, or they just lost interest in, they're probably not going to do much of this. But it's when a guy that really likes them breaks up with them, then they start doing all this weird stuff with their hair, changing their look, and then their personality starts to shift into something dark. You guys know what I mean. And of course, it is concerning because we have to be educating women, not just guys, and we have to be concerned about both. But the shift has gone to women, and we're neglecting the boys. So anyway, boys tend to use more lethal means, leading to more tragic outcomes. It's crucial that we focus on the challenges facing boys in this context. Please don't redirect the conversation to girls. We need to address the urgent issue of male suicide. And I couldn't agree more. Here's some FIFA gameplay for you guys. As we dive a little deep into this, um, we all know that males commit suicide, at least we should know, at a rate 5 times higher than their female counterparts, guys. Now, my question really isn't so much for my generation because me being a 28-year-old single man, I feel every ounce of pain, loneliness, suffering that most men do. Because I live alone, right? I don't have a girlfriend, anything like that. 2025 for me has been a horrible year with dating. I can't seem to even land a date. I've gone on dates, of course, but it's the same old stuff with these modern women, these modern American women, right? This is why I just tend to date foreign women, guys, and you should too, because they're much more pleasant to be around and they actually act like women. But these are these American modern women, right? They go on a date with me. They tell me, they look me straight in my eyes. They tell me what a great time they had. They tell me how handsome they think I am. They tell me they can't wait to see me again, just to never hear from them again. Or maybe we will text or talk, or maybe perhaps see each other again or a third time. But these women always disappear. That's the common theme with all of them. They disappear. There is no communication as to why. And the only thing I can assume, because sure, I obviously will do things wrong from time to time that maybe I don't realize, but they don't communicate that with me. But I know what really happens is they just found a guy that they view as more attractive than me. Maybe he's taller than me. Maybe he's better looking than me. Maybe he's got more money than me. Maybe he's got more social status than me. Who knows? So, anyway, my point is that I feel like everything that guys complain, I of course do better than the average guy. And I know that for a fact because most guys I speak to don't go on dates much or they haven't even had a girlfriend. And they don't pursue women much at all. You know, they're just really big couch potatoes. I mean, maybe they even go to the gym. Like the amount of guys I see that are in shape and not bad looking, that like they stay at home. At least this is what they tell me. Like they just chill at home. Like they don't go out much at all, and they're single, haven't had a girlfriend in years, all that. It's really concerning. And what the powers that be of the world they created is that the ugly women, the average women, view the average guy as ugly. We all know the stats, and again, we should know these things that women view 80% of men as ugly, as unattractive. That's crazy. I mean, that is crazy. You're telling me that's natural? You're telling me this is female nature, that women are just like this? You're telling me this is because strictly only because of feminism and putting women in the workplace? No, no. You see, it goes deeper than all that. Those things all play a factor, especially feminism and the lies that they tell them that they're basically better than men and that men are evil. You see, anytime you get to so no matter what it is, anytime they're telling you or something is telling you or someone is telling you a specific person or group is evil, more so group I should say, uh, it's not correct because empowering women could be used for good or it could be used for evil. Just same way with empowering men, right? We can empower each other to do well in this world, or we can empower each other to be animals and do reckless things and go wild and not give a damn about anything. So, anyway, I'm trying to get you guys, if you don't understand these things, because, you know, for some reason it seems like older people watch my content, at least according to the statistics. Maybe they're wrong on my channel. But, you know, I explain these things to my parents who are in their mid 60s, and it's hard for them to understand because they didn't grow up on social media. You see, social media has caused the biggest divide in the younger generation probably that we've ever seen before. Because not only are people not even getting into intimate relationships anymore, but friendships, genuine friendships, has completely gone downhill. Mainly for men too. And that's another reason why men commit suicide is because they tend to not have many friends compared to women. Women are much better at having a social life, communicating with their friends and getting together because women can't stand to be alone. That's what I notice about women. They can't stand to be alone. A lot of men don't mind being alone. Like myself, I like my alone time, but I need a balance. I also am a social person, so I do need that balance of going out, seeing people, and talking to people and all that stuff. Anyway, how do we fix this, right? Because I don't want to make this video so long. We need to do something for young men. We need to start helping young men get jobs. We need to start encouraging each other. We need to start banding together and figuring out something that we could do for men, because obviously this society has thrown men out. They prove time and time again, day in, day out, that this society doesn't care about masculinity, that they attack it. There's really no place for men, especially young men. Because when you're young like me, like you don't get taken serious, right? It's hard to get taken serious when you're a younger guy, by people in general. So the constant being ignored, no one ever asks me how I'm doing, and I speak for most men, that they don't get asked how they're doing, no one asks how they feel. Most guys don't have friends. Most guys are severely struggling with women, and it's confusing because they don't get why. A lot of men don't get why, and I'm here to tell you like why you're struggling with women. It might be because of you, but understand you grew up in a world that socially engineered you to be a soft feminine guy, and to be passive aggressive and not have a backbone and stand for anything, and not have a moral code. And the same thing with women. They've trained women to not have a moral code and to be wild animals, and to not know what right or what wrong is. And they've trained them to be very masculine and look down upon men and be unattracted by men, by the average man. Because they've, again, with social media, with movies, we see the most beautiful people from when we're young. These women, especially, they get a plethora especially when they're in their teen years, their early 20s, when they're at their peak of looks, right? They get a plethora of options. I mean, women learn from such an early age that they can use their bodies, they can lead men on to get what they want. They know they can use their looks to get what they want. And a lot of men, I would say there's only 5% of men in this world, really, that can use their looks to get what they want. But pretty much any woman can use their looks to get what they want. Most women aren't going to have trouble uh, being with men because it's easier for a woman to get a date than it is for a man to get a date. It is really hard for a man to get a date. And even if it's more than likely that the man is going to get ghosted, right? Because this is the experience that we all have, right? We all are getting ghosted. We're all not communicating with each other. Therefore, we're going to see an increase in suicides more and more. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's with women too. So we need to do something, guys. We need to figure out a way to live independently from this system that clearly has forsaken us and that has neglected us.